Episode number 2, Customer Onboarding. So in this episode, you'll understand customer registration, KYC verification, queue creation and account creation, and digital onboarding workflow. Okay, so last episode we understand what is the core banking system and heart of the bank. Now today we are going to deeper into the banking system where customer wants to open a bank account. So using only mobile phone, so customer think they can open bank account going to the branch. So here we are going to use the digital flow, use the mobile app, how customers can open the bank account. Okay? Behind the scene, what happened when customer go through the flow, what will happen. So that's the entire banking workflow start running. And today you will understand this flow. This is a simple wireframe, and you'll understand step by step what's happening behind the scene in the banking app. Okay, so let's assume you are the business analyst responsible for designing that workflow. So here our use case, a customer named David. He download our banking app. This just a dummy name, North Star Bank. Okay, mobile app. David's want to open a checking account here. He clicks open new account. Here you can see open new account here. That's what David clicked. Now most people think the account gets created instantly, which is not. Bank cannot create account blindly. They must verify identity, right? So to verify the identity, our customer David has to provide this information. So validate customer information here once it's everything provided. Check compliance rules and detect fraud if it is applicable, and store the customer data securely. The process is called onboarding. So this entire process is called onboarding. So an onboarding is one of the most important banking workflows because this is where customer come to the branch to make business, right? So now let's walk through the full journey step by step. Let's understand this journey. Okay. So step 1, here you can see David is providing personal information, first name, last name, date of birth, phone number, and two validations, so mandatory checks, right? So after provide this information, the system checks whether this information provided by David, is this belongs to David or is belongs to someone else. It check all the information provided by David here. Okay, so that's the first step here. System is validating David personal information. Okay, so as a business analyst, this is where requirement gathering begins. You immediately start asking questions like which fields are mandatory, right? There are so many fields are here. What validation rules exist? Can customer use special characters here, right? Date of birth, email ID. What happens if fields are missing? So what fields are mandatory? What will happen if fields are missing? Can duplicate customer exist? So you need to ask this question, you need to capture this. Good business analyst think about scenarios, not just screens. Now let's continue step 2. Step 2, David uploads government ID, maybe passport, maybe driving license. Now the bank sends this information to an identity verification system. This is usually done through API. Onboarding application sends customer this data. The verification system responds back. verification successful or verification fail, right? Now let's stop again. This is another important BA lesson. Banking systems constantly communicate with the external system, and most communication happen using APIs. So this is why business analysts in banking must understand integration. Now imagine the verification passes. The system now check if David already exists in the bank. That's another thing, right? This one. Maybe he already has a credit card. Maybe he already has a loan. Maybe he already exists as a customer here. Now here, customer, one of the most important concept in banking is CIF. So this full form is customer information file, KIF, kind of a reference ID for the customer, okay? So inside the core banking system, this profile contains customer information, date of birth, address, contact information, customer ID, link accounts, products, everything. Now, if David is a new customer, the system creates a new KIF if David already exists, right? So the system links the new account to the existing customer profile. So now this is very important in banking projects. Banks do not want duplicate customer records because duplicates create operational and compliance risks, right? So let's say David borrow money, he's owing some money to us and he tried to deposit a check or try to invest some money, right? So that's why it's always mandatory. Keep one record, keep one customer profile, keep one KIF. So system has to check this email ID, mobile number, names, and using those criteria, if is there any existing record for this customer. So that way, system when system do a lookup, will come to know this customer has maybe a different phone number, different email ID, different address. Sometimes the first name, last name is reversed. So everything need to verify before onboard a customer. So now let's continue. After KIF creation here, the system create the actual bank account. Step number 6. Okay. So now let's understand the difference. Customer is not the same as account. One customer can have multiple account. Savings account, checking account, joint account, business account, credit card account, loan account. Right? So this is why banking databases are carefully structured. Customer table, account table, transaction table, relationship mapping, everything connected together. Now let's continue the onboarding flow. After account creation, the system generates an account number. Step. So then debit card request is triggered. The customer needs a debit card, right? So then welcome email is sent, mobile banking access is enabled. This thing, final step. They will see this message, your account has been successfully created. Simple for customers, but complex behind the scenes with the systems, right? So everything has to work parallel. Collecting information, uploading document by the user, send to a vendor, check, see if there is existing record, new gift creation or update, account is created, and notification and other services triggered. So now this is where business analytics become critical because somebody needs to document these entire workflow clearly. Developers cannot guess uh, behind the scene what are the business rules. Testing teams cannot assume logic. So operation team need proper process flow. Now let's talk about the requirements. So imagine the product owner says we want to fully digital onboarding in under 5 minutes. So now the BA start asking questions. What documents are accepted? What happens if verification fails? What happens if the internet disconnects? So we're talking about here, right? What type of documents accepted? What will happen if the verification fails? Can onboarding resume later? What happens if duplicate customers are detected? Can minor open accounts? Can international customer apply? These questions help uncover business rules. And this is what separates junior BAs from strong BAs. Strong BAs investigate edge cases. Now let's write a simple user story. Okay. So, so as a new customer, I want to open a bank account digitally so that I can start banking without visiting a branch. So acceptance criteria. Customer must enter mandatory personal information. Talking about this screen, okay. Customer must upload a valid government ID, step number 2. Customer system must verify identity successfully. Identity verification, step number 3. System must create customer profile. This one. System must generate the account number. System must send confirmation email. Okay. So now notice something important. The user story explain the business scope. Exception criteria explain expected system behavior, right? This is how business analysts communicate with development teams. Now let's talk about one more important thing, current state versus future state. So current state may look like this: customer visit branch, fills paper forms, wait for approval, manual verification, okay? Operational team manually review, verify document, account opens after 2 days. Future state, customer use the mobile app, upload documents digitally, API verifies, identify instantly, account opens in 5 minutes. That difference between current and future. So what digital transformation project focus on, and business and I help design that transformation, right? So now before we finish, let's quickly review a few questions. What is onboarding in banking? So onboarding is the process of creating and verifying a new customer and opening bank product like accounts or cards, right? So what is KIF? KIF stands for Customer Information File. It is the central customer profile stored the banking system. Okay. Question number 3. Why do banks perform identity verification? For security, fraud prevention, and regulatory compliance. Fourth question, what is the difference between customer and account? A customer is a person profile and account is a banking product linked to the customer. Question number 5, why APIs are important in banking? APIs allow banking system to communicate securely with internal and external services such as identity verification, payment systems, and fraud detection. Now, in the next episode, we are going to explore the entire banking ecosystem, right? Mobile apps, ATM, payment gateway, fraud systems, notification, and everything. Okay. All right. Okay. That's it for this video. So I'll see you guys with banking system and integration episode. Thank you.